Hello, and you're listening to Listen to Local with Adam Velo, and I'm Adam Velo. And today, last episode we had George Ellis. This episode we have another Ellis, but Alice Isabella, who's an indie pop singer who blends basically the two of my favorite artists, which are Missy Higgins and Angie McMahon, into a a young emerging artist that has I feel like such a bright future after this release. So welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on today.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah, first question of all, of course, is around that new release, which is Crawl. You released your
Mhm.
single Crawl very recently.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that, sparked you into writing this?
Well, initially it was about an experience I had with someone.
Yeah,
I need to go into too much depth about that, but
of course.
the song's mainly about the moment you realize that person was never who they seemed to be, and the
Yeah,
moment you choose to step away from thinking about them, not out of bitterness, but just like out of self-preservation to like keep your dignity.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and it's just about the turning point between holding on to what you thought you'd have with them and moving forward from them and just trying to be yourself. And it's a release that I hope ended up conveying.
A lot of people in the early 20s and late teens age bracket will feel similar feelings from different lived experiences, of course. So I think this story and the power with it is such a fantastic thing to have from that. Do you have a established writing process in mind when you put pen to paper?
I usually write lyrics first, which is a
Mm,
bit unconventional.
mm,
A lot of people write melody and chords first, but I gravitate to lyrics as I think that the lyrics are probably one of the most important parts of a song, the
mm.
storytelling. Um, yeah, so usually it happens at random times, like when I'm walking or in the shower or just on public transport, or like when I'm out and about, I just seem to have the most random ideas. And so I quickly hop on a notes app or voice memo awkwardly in public.
Yeah.
And then I put the lyrics that I have written to a melody and figure out the chords from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's how some of the biggest, success stories in the world have happened. Is not from, planned events, but, things just popping into someone's brain. I mean, obviously, most famous example being Newton inventing gravity or discovering gravity through just an apple falling on his head, So it's just moments like that that pop into mind. And yeah, I mean, you've conveyed
Yeah.
it so well. And you've got a show coming up from that, which is the single launch for said track. What are you
Yes.
looking forward to most to perform in Crawl and the other songs in your catalogue?
I'm excited to play Crawl with the band because this
Mm.
will be the first time that I'm playing with a full band.
Right?
Um, for my songs, like I,
Mm.
play in bands for uni, but this will be my first project, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Um, so Crawl will be good because there's been so much work put into it.
Mm.
Have a lot of rehearsals, so hopefully it'll go to plan. But the other songs that I'm excited to perform are called one of them's called The World Is My Home,
Yep.
and I wrote it after coming back from being overseas and feeling quite lost in the world
Mm.
as I was away from home for 7 months. It was through my gap year, so I
Yep.
had a lot of experiences, and yeah, it's very special to me. I played it at Taylor Sheridan's show, and for some reason, I just started crying
Mm.
during the bridge. I don't know, like it just kind of all the emotions overcame me.
Yeah.
But it was a really special moment.
Yeah.
And the other song that I'm excited to play is called Blur.
Yep.
I love the progression dynamically, like instrumentally. And this song is about Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm not sure
Yep.
if you've seen that show, but it's
I know of it. I don't think
yeah,
I've seen as such, but I know of it
it's
for sure. Yeah.
it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's about Daisy Jones and Billy, the song.
Yep.
Um, but the TV show is based on Fleetwood Mac,
Yep, yep.
and
Mm,
all the trials and tribulations throughout the band. So I wanted to write about how the two characters blur the line between one another and how they make there's a lot of tension. So I thought it would
yeah,
be really cool to translate that into the song Blur.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Fleetwood Mac, such a iconic band that obviously did have such tension throughout the years for
Oh yeah.
various different reasons. No,
Yeah.
there's such iconic names and household names in society, and yeah, some of the best songwriters there have ever been. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But you did mention Taylor Sheridan in there, which is actually leads into my next question I was going to ask, which is, yeah, obviously this new single launch will be a different base to opening for Taylor Sheridan early in the year. What was it like to open, for someone that is one of your heroes as such?
It was pretty cool.
Mm,
How the whole experience came about was quite interesting. Like
mm,
being through Instagram and just posting my song, and he saw it and thought it was great.
yeah,
It was just really cool, like being able to play in front of an audience that I probably wouldn't usually play for.
mm,
As his demographics leaning towards country music, and I'm more indie pop.
mm,
Um, yeah, he and I had dinner before the show, and it was just great to like pick his brain and
yeah.
just talk about our experiences and how, he's very far into his career. So it was good to learn a lot from him.
Mm. And I mean, obviously, there is, in a way, like an contingent link between, country and like emerging indie pop artists. Like a lot of, obviously, so many artists have emerged from country or from indie pop and gone the other way. So when you think about it, it sounds different, but when you put them together, it's almost like it makes sense to have the two linked. So yeah, it must have
Mm.
been such a fantastic experience to learn from one of the best, of course. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the main difference between, being the act that people, come and listen to, um, even if it's like a small crowd, to being, a support act where your challenge is basically to keep the crowd engaged and involved until the main act comes on.
Um, well, I've been a support for a lot of, bands in Melbourne.
Mm.
But Taylor's was obviously the biggest one.
Yeah,
Um, the main difference probably was I guess I was trying to storytell and be as myself as possible to
yeah,
engage the audience and to really tell all my songs. Whereas when you're the main act, which I will be in a few weeks, you have the
mm,
luxury of the crowd's full attention, like they're there to see you.
yeah,
So you like their enthusiasm is there and
mm,
they're kind of ready to see you. Whereas I guess when you're opening, you gotta really get their attention quick to not
mm,
lose interest.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, authenticity is such an important fact for that. I think some of the best support acts of all time have been ones that you know may may not have been able to see themselves as being like a perfect support act, but someone that it was an honest and open support act. And yeah, I feel like that's who tends to engage with the crowd the best. So you have the challenge that a lot of younger artists have, which is having to juggle your passion, which is of course for your own music, but also the study aspect in um, entertainment management. So how do you juggle the two?
So I haven't actually started that part of my degree yet.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
so I'm doing music at the moment, which
yeah,
is a 2-year degree, and then I start it next year. So it's one after the other.
yeah,
I think they'll definitely blend together because I've already learnt all in the music degree, so I can
mm,
just use that to help um myself in the entertainment management side, as
Mm,
it'll be a lot of business subjects like managing yourself or managing an artist, but I would probably want to self-manage.
of course. Yep.
And there'll be a lot to do with budgeting and finances, which I'm not too familiar with. Like
Mm,
haven't done much to do with that.
yep.
So it'd be good to really learn um more about that and learn all the little ins and outs of the contracts and arts law because it can be quite dense and
Yep.
yeah, so that'll be interesting to dive into next year.
Yeah,
But at the
that's for
moment, I'm finishing off my music degree, which will be done. I have one more music subject next year, but yeah, it'll be done next week.
yeah, that's for certain. I mean, obviously, best of luck with all that in your endeavors. But yeah, obviously, it's interesting the fact that obviously, to be professional uh, in a lot of professions, you do the degree of that honor, and then you move on into the degree of the field of interest you want to be in. But there's a lot of people that do music but never do a music degree. So it's interesting to hear when artists do music degrees how that helps and empowers them in their own music journey, of
Mm,
course.
yeah. We
Yeah.
have like a portfolio subject as well, which kind of is a little to do with business stuff. Like
Mm,
you're making a portfolio for yourself as an artist whilst intertwining things that relate to the business side. So like capturing attention from like booking agents and
mm.
managers. So yeah, we
Okay.
learn to kind of work with both ends.
Yeah. But of course, obviously, you you are helping yourself in that way. With you went up to Big Sound earlier this year as a volunteer, and so what were some of your main takeaways from that experience for yourself?
To talk to as many people as possible.
Yep.
I found that pretty much all the volunteers I spoke to were either musicians or people that were wanting to get into the industry. So it was really good to just connect with them.
Mm.
Most of them were from Brisbane, of course,
Yep.
because it was Brisbane.
Yep.
So yeah, it was great to just connect with them as I've still kept in touch with some of them, people that I've met there, which has been great.
Yep.
I also felt really good that I could contribute in a small way to a massive event.
Mm.
As my volunteering shifts were pretty simple, but it definitely impacted people with what I was doing.
Yep.
Even if it was just like helping with directions or just greeting
Yeah.
people, or being a part of like workshops I was as a volunteer. So yeah, just gaining those practical skills, and developing my abilities in like
Yeah,
event coordination.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And obviously, by getting your name out and around there, it obviously increases your chances further down the track when obviously Big Sound are doing their usual call outs for artists and they'll be like, oh, Alice helped us years ago as a volunteer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Networking is like the main thing about that event. So it was great to
Yeah.
just talk to as many people as I could. And since I hadn't released anything yet, like I just kind of wanted to make those connections
Yeah.
before I put anything out.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure as you continue to grow into next year, you'll have even more ability to reach out to these artists and say,
Mm.
um,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, helps when it's in Queensland as well. You could leverage, the idea of a tour further down the track as well.
Yeah.
On the topic of, Australian artists and all that, we recently had Oz Music T-shirt Day and throughout November, Oz Music Month. Um, so I'm asking, what are some Australian artists that influence you?
I would say Missy Higgins, of course.
Mm,
She's my
yeah.
biggest influence. With her songwriting, it's just so authentic. She's very universal yet personal.
Yeah.
So her number one, and then the Waifs, Kate
Mm.
Miller Heidke, um, and the Angie McMahon. They're
Yeah.
like the bigger ones that I really love, and then like local ones that are coming out. I love Darcy Haven, as
Yeah.
I know you know too.
Yeah, guilty, guilty.
Yeah. Um, Lyric and Holly Hebe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very indie pop, very my genre. So yeah, I look to them for inspiration,
Yeah.
and how they like talk to fans and like
Yeah.
how they create content, is very interesting. So I
Yeah.
aspire to be like them.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, a lot of those artists, I feel like they have a unique identity, of course, with the way they, they sound. They, yeah, I mean, obviously, they put out the music and all that. Obviously, Missy Higgins, so well known for sounding very Australian with her accent,
Mhm.
of course. And I feel like you have some quite unique qualities as well with your music, especially with Crawl, with your um, yeah, you powerful voice, yet also got the little reverb underneath. It's such a it really does make you feel the whole way through. So
Thank you.
yeah. But if people obviously watching this interview did want to find out about Crawl or anything else that you are doing, of course, the single launch being one of those, where would they go to find you, your work, and yeah, anything that coming up?
You can find Crawl on all streaming platforms.
Yep,
Bandcamp,
yep,
I really love that platform. It supports artists directly.
yep,
As well as Triple J Unearthed. I have uploaded the song on there so you can review it if you'd like.
yep,
And on the social media, my handle is alice.isabella underscore.
yep.
And for TikTok as well, Alice Isabella Music. There will soon be a website, so there will be everything in one spot for that. And yeah, you can find me on online all through that. And the launch tickets are available on Instagram as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously watch this space. I mean, I think you'll be a much bigger name as time goes on because yeah, I mean, you've got such a good base already, and it's just getting that outreach from here. So yeah, I mean, thanks so much for being on the show today. It's been a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me, Adam.